What's happening there, Reject Nation? We are here today at the Spider-Man No Way Home premiere. I know we told you guys we were going to be here. We didn't tell you why or how we got in. All because of Coy. That is not hyperbolic. That is 100% fact. So whichever big ones come by, Coy gets major first dibs on all of them, and frankly, he cares more to do that than we do.
Everyone you want to hear us talk to, Coy is going to talk to.
So don't hate me in the comments, please.
Yeah, no,
this is more me just being worried about you.
And Coy would do a much better job than what we would do, by the way. So.
I love these. I do these.
Your professional gig. All right?
Yeah, we're just like, hey, whatever gets us to watch the movie at the premiere over here.
I want to thank Sony, I want to thank Marvel, I want to thank the Real Rejects, because without them, I wouldn't be able to have this beautiful, beautiful people. That is you watching this. So this isn't a magical team up. Observe the magic team up of
the microphone.
That is symbolic of this amazing union that we have here today.
I can't wait to watch the movie. Coy, I can't wait for you to talk to a bunch of people. I'll talk to certain people. John will talk to certain
I'm going to
people.
frantically come up with questions as everyone approaches and hope I don't embarrass everyone.
You got this.
It's going to be fun on the fly.
We're going to try to talk to Jacob Batalon. He's Filipino, so I'm going to use that to wiggle my way into a good conversation, because I'm half Filipino, using my race to edge my way.
While all us poor white folks.
You are here at the movie of the year.
It's hype. It's a hype time.
I haven't seen you since London. How's the world been, man? Well, I mean, other than the world.
It's been amazing. You know, I can't say enough. I mean, London's been great. We just came from New York a few days ago, and it's been very stressful and very tiring, but it's been amazing. I think we've had a great time. I really miss everyone, so it's been awesome.
So I don't like spoilers, so don't infer this as a spoiler question. Avoid any spoilers, but if you could be any villain in the MCU, because I know in the comics Ned turns into Hobgoblin, but anyone that you identify with and go like, man, I'd love to play that guy.
I mean, the Hobgoblin. No, I was kidding. Oh, gosh, I mean, anyone. I feel like it's really tough to choose. They're all really amazing. I think I really like Willem Dafoe, because he's like the best. That's like our joke with him. And yeah, because he's just a really lit goblin.
So what is the guy in the chair's playlist from day to day? Because if you're stuck in that chair, you're navigating, you're helping Spidey out, what's your go-to like main jump track?
I feel like he's definitely really rocking with J. Cole. He's really rocking with Kendrick, all that good stuff.
All right, so he's a modernist.
Yeah, absolutely.
I respect that. You got a question?
Yeah, I wanted to ask.
God damn it, that transition felt so unnatural to me, like Coy walking a child into a red carpet interview. Amateur!
I'm Filipino myself. I know you're Filipino. Pinoy pride, baby. And I was actually following this story about how, like, in the Philippines, there was this big petition going around for don't delay No Way Home PH. Yeah, and so I was wondering, for the guy in the chair, what would you advise for our friends in the Philippines of how you can avoid some spoilers in the meantime or the next few weeks?
I mean, probably turn off social media. I'm so sorry that you guys can't watch it immediately. I wish I could do something about it, but try your hardest to maybe not see anything, and you will enjoy it just as much as everyone else, and you will probably have a greater sense of satisfaction because it'll be a bit longer, but you guys deserve better, for sure.
That's an amazing answer. I appreciate that. And then a little pivot here. I just wanted to ask, you're like easily the funniest guy in the Spider-Man franchise right now, but I'm curious, who would you say is probably the funniest person on set when the camera's not rolling?
I mean, Jimmy Foxx is hilarious. Zendaya is low-key pretty funny. And I mean, high-key, I'm the funniest guy ever, so I can't really yeah.
Oh, it was a pleasure to meet you. Thank you so much for your time, man.
Coy's going to try to get J.K. Simmons. I can't think of anything you need to ask him.
Yeah, go ahead and get him. But he did briefly talk to Simu Liu.
I was the first guy to introduce you to Jim at Comic-Con back in the day, and I'm so happy to hear all of this success, man, that it warms my heart. That movie crushed, like, exceeded all my expectations, dude. So truly, thank you for, like, investing that much, dude. Thank you.
But yeah, well, while Coy was interviewing them, Tom Holland walked right past us.
I am obsessed with the Green Goblin through and through. I learned to read with Spider-Man. That's how I learned English. And Green Goblin was my favorite character.
Where are you from?
I'm from here, but I was 2. So I literally, I had the photos parallel to the words.
Making me feel like an old man.
But the Green Goblin was so vibrant and so accessible and so interesting from the beginning. So like, how green was my goblin was how I learned so much
cool.
English.
Beautiful.
I was wondering, when you came back to the role, how it felt to slightly adjust and modernize such a character that's been iconic for so many years.
You know, I didn't think about, just continue from where we left off. And of course, the story really tells you where to go with it. But as far as going back into it, it's strong. You put that suit on, you're back in the groove pretty quickly.
So the glider's like riding a bike.
Yeah, everything's a little different.
Sure.
Same but different. Yeah, but riding a bike, yeah.
So we're in the world of meme culture, and one of the first giant memes was, "I'm something of a scientist myself."
Yeah.
What's been your favorite variation of that meme that you've seen?
Oh God, I try not to follow these things, It warps my mind.
That's fair. That's a dark place, the internet. So in fighting both Tom and Tobey over the years, how was it different in the prep mentally now that things are a little bit more CGI versus practical? Was there any different process?
That's not true. That things are more CGI now. That's not really true in the fighting. For example, in the original, yes, some things were a little cruder. There was more wire work and maybe some of the CGI wasn't as sophisticated. But we did a lot of just flat out fighting, stage fighting. And we did as well in this. Some of the flying, some of that stuff changes, but as far as the actual fighting,
yeah,
it was pretty down and dirty.
Oh, that makes me happy. Last question for you.
It was fun.
Oh,
that roots it also, because that kind of pays for, that puts you there. Then when you got the scenes where you got a beef or you're threatening him, it has some teeth, because you got something going. Yeah.
Now my last question is, the Goblin serum causes a voice in the head. Is that something that you experienced as a separate entity in reading the script either time?
I can't remember, to tell you the truth.
Enough.
The Goblin voice is talking to me now.
There's plenty anyway. Thank you so much, man. I appreciate it. Willem Dafoe is the Green Goblin.
So I just want to throw out there that I did get to meet Willem Dafoe myself that night too. It was actually after the movie, so it wasn't on camera. I went up to him and I said that Green Goblin is one of my all-time favorite villains from comic book movies. I was so surprised by just how much you managed to outdo what you did all the way back in 2002, and now with what he did in No Way Home, it was like incredible just how much better he is. Asked to take a photo. John saw me taking a photo, and then he inserted himself in there. I do all the lifting after Coy does all the heavy lifting.
Oh yeah, we met Kevin Feige too.
Don't cast that spell.
Real Rejects.
Hi, sir. Hi, how are you?
I'm a little nervous. This is actually my first premiere red carpet interview.
Yeah, don't be nervous. You're doing great.
I'm so much more relaxed
You were
just now.
vulnerable to me, so you opened out.
This is good. I feel like we're bonding. With each passing appearance, I feel like, Wong's profile has risen to the point that, like, when the Shang-Chi trailer dropped, I feel like the one thing people freaked out about more than anything was you versus Abomination. Like, were you aware of that, just fan response, and what does that feel like?
No, it wasn't. They just, have portal will travel, They tell me where to go. I'm massive Marvel fan, so the possibilities for me seem to be kind of a bit endless. Got an email off Kevin Feige once that said this is fast becoming the WCU. How about that?
Well, to that effect, I mean, if they were to give you like a Disney Plus show or something like that, who would you want to have as like your partner or your buddy, aside from Strange, any of those familiar faces?
Yeah, they'll pop in it, but I don't know. Could be a film, could be a series. It'd be great. I do have a few ideas. Yeah.
Keep them tight to the vest.
Yeah. If it happens, it happens. Then I'll unfurl everything. Yeah.
It's good. I like a surprise. And I mean, Doctor Strange obviously is the sorcerer supreme, but I feel like Wong is the guy who really keeps things in order at the Sanctum. You're kind of like the Nick Fury of the mystical side of the Marvel universe. How do you feel? Would you accept that role?
Yeah, I'll say that. Yes, I will.
Absolutely. Okay. I got one more before I pass it off to him really quick. Who possesses more innate mystical abilities, Wong or Wallace the Necromancer from What We Do in the Shadows?
I improvised the spitting on a dead corpse, which can no longer be done now these days. So that's probably
That's the extra juju?
Yeah. Good sport, Haley Joel. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Allow me to spit on him. Yeah.
I'm going to pass this off real quick to my man here. Thanks for talking, though. Appreciate
Hey,
it.
man. We had you on.
Didn't he do great?
He did incredible work. Yeah, absolutely. This guy.
Did you hear him?
That's for you. That's for hear that outside. That's the magic.
Vulnerability for you.
It's true. We had you on Collider Heroes a while back, and we talked about sandwiches a ton.
Did we?
We did. We had a whole theme of what sandwiches different people would enjoy.
Yeah, we did, didn't we?
So we were talking Deadly Class when you came on Heroes, and that is one of my favorite books of all time, hard stop. How do you think Wong would fare in that universe?
In what?
In the Deadly Class verse.
Oh, it'd be over. It'd be over in an episode. That's it.
We need to make it happen. I appreciate it, man.
All right, mate.
Thank you so much. Good to see you again. Enjoy the sandwiches.
We're gonna try to talk to the writers. I don't know what they did on the movie.
I've been covering Spider-Man No Way Home all year long on our YouTube channel, and you are my first red carpet interview ever.
That's not a lie. They were actually the first interview that I did, but you know, threw the Jacob Batalon one in there first, because I figured you guys would probably care more about that. It's Jesus Christ, baby, can you please turn that down?
Shut up, you narcissist. Cleaning your goddamn house.
Thanks for turning it down.
So I feel very honored right now.
Sorry.
No, please. I will.
Glamorous. It's like the first batch of pancakes. You can just throw this out.
We're seeing all these returning villains coming back. Which villain would you say you were most particular about writing for, or was your favorite to write for?
I would say the one that we're allowed to talk about.
I mean, we saw a few of them in the trailer, so I'd imagine there's been a few that you would probably mention.
It was such an honor, a daunting experience getting to write for Alfred and Alfred Molina, Doc Ock, and Willem Dafoe. I'm afraid. I know I'm allowed to say these names, but
It goes to I know we're allowed to say, so we'll just stop there.
There's 3 you're allowed to say.
As anyone else, we enjoyed writing for you too. But
Well, let me help out here. In the trailer, you saw Lizard, Sandman, Doc Ock, Electro, Green Goblin. A thing that happens with like Spider-Man 3 and Amazing Spider-Man 2 was they were kind of criticized for being a little over-convoluted with villains. So how did you guys go about approaching balancing all these villains? And what was the approach you guys had to make sure it all flowed so well?
ultimately it had to be true to Peter Parker, the Tom Holland's Peter Parker. It had to be his story. It couldn't feel like it was a tail wagging the dog. It had to feel like they were coming here in a way that was transformative for not only Peter Parker, but also the characters that were coming into this world. It couldn't just be a concept sort of dancing across the stage, hopefully that they would impact each other and affect each other. That was part of the challenge, so it didn't feel like it was just a gimmick we were trying to pull off.
we always try to write up to the villains. That's what we tried in the first movie and in Far From Home. And in this one, we just did the same thing. We tried to write up to the villains, but you want the villains to be, their stories to be in service of the hero. You know, it's all about the hero's journey through the movie. And so, like Chris said, you can't let the tail wag the dog. And so we just applied the same logic, but we just had more villains to deal with this time. But we just had to stay true to that.
This seems like it'd be very, very hard to top this movie. And we haven't even seen the movie yet, and I'm already like, how could you possibly top this Spider-Man movie? Do you think this is going to be the biggest Spider-Man movie yet?
It was a lot. I mean, there was like I would say the first draft felt like kitchen sink, and there was like, you know what? We love all this stuff, but there's certain things that we had to sharpen it and hone to take it away, because there was so many things that everyone wanted to try to put into this. But ultimately, though, you have to, whatever, if it doesn't serve the story, if it doesn't serve the characters, then save it for another movie. So yeah, there's some things we got to pull out of the sink that maybe they'll use the next time.
I love to hear that.
Those suckers, the next guys.
I hope it is the biggest, and I hope we get to do some more and try to do something even bigger.
Well, thank you guys so much for your time. I cannot wait to watch this movie. Thank you guys.
Throw that right out, right? Say that to Amy Pascal's coming up. You're my first interview, Amy.
How's it going, guys? I haven't seen you since the very beginning of Spider-Verse, and it's so good to see you guys again. And I think I saw you at Freaks, that first screening in San Diego. So it's been a little less of a minute.
Started at the middle, and now
we're here. But that new trailer, you guys, like as the guy that was, I think the first audience that saw Kingpin in all of his glory.
Yes.
I can't believe it exceeded my expectations. What's the feedback been? Dude, life-changing. Hearing Miguel, like seeing that whole experience, like what's it been like to receive that from the audience?
Oh man, gosh, we wanted to freak people out a little bit, and it looks like we succeeded.
Yeah.
I hope.
The response has been really overwhelming. It's been really exciting to feel like we're on the right track. So
the look feels like Alchemex felt. So when you read the Alchemex and the scratchiness, it all feels so authentic.
Oh, great.
What was the idea to have it open with the aged up Miles? Was that always the idea from the beginning?
Yeah, I mean the story takes place like a year later, and the idea was at the end of that first movie you didn't realize it, but it was a year later.
We spent a lot of time thinking about how it was going to play in a movie theater and in a room and at your house, going, what is the first thing you want to see after 3 years? And it was like, you want to see Miles again.
And I don't want to know because I hate spoilers. How long until we find out collectively what the villainy looks like? Is that a trailer 2, trailer 3?
You'd think there was a plan. But we were just like, let's get to the end of this teaser, we'll figure the rest out.
I imagine the next thing that you see, you probably...
It may be. Who knows?
Or not.
I will say that our nice friends at Sony Publicity have another movie. They have to open first.
We might be present.
They might be.
Now, is there any swearing from the year 2099 we're going to hear from Oscar Isaac?
Oh, that's a great question.
I will say that I did possibly write some futuristic swear words.
Oh, it's my main question, but one last one for you guys. Did you have a conversation with Haley once she made her live-action debut in Marvel, comparing how she was going to play her Spider-Gwen? Was there a dichotomy and duality conversation?
No, she's such a good actor. She can play a million different parts, and they're all a little bit different.
And she's too much of a pro to pit us against one another.
That's right.
The other thing is, fun fact, she recorded most of her lines for the teaser from a closet at a junket for another project. Probably Hawkeye.
It's true.
Okay, I lied. One last question. We got Sienkiewicz's Kingpin. We got Bagley's Ultimate Goblin. We've got a beautiful medley of a multiverse. Is there any artist or anyone you can tease for us diehard comic fans?
Oh, I can't tease it, but I promise you'll be satisfied.
Okay, that's enough of a tease for me. I hate spoilers. I just want to know as much as I can. Thank you guys so very much. You truly are the Spider-Man guys to my heart. You guys made it such a comic fan movie. I really appreciate it. Every morsel, I can't wait. I appreciate it.
All right,
thank you guys.
More on the way.
Yes.
Cheers. Have fun tonight.
Pleasure, guys. Thank you. You too.